We're live. Welcome to our development meeting for Metplus. Uh, it's me, João, and Tawanda. So we had this meeting, I believe, like 2 weeks ago. I'm not 100% sure, but we're trying to get this into. We tried 2 weeks ago, but I think we didn't have anybody, and the last was like maybe a month ago. We got something like that. I don't remember. Yeah. So welcome, Tawanda. So do you have any question at this point on the project? Were you able to look through things and so on?
Yeah, I definitely checked out some of the documents that were online.
Mhm.
I guess to just give a little background on myself, I've worked in engineering for 20 years, managed a team of engineers for about 3 years, and most recently, within the last year, 2 years, I switched over to product. So I'm doing more product management. We are running an agile shop.
Mhm.
And what I am looking to do is help out from more of a product side or a project management side, not specifically coding. So I
Mhm.
don't know if you have a need there. Very familiar with drafting user stories, developing user personas, translating basic user stories to tasks, technical documentation, and things of that nature because of my strong technical background. So wherever you think I can be of need, just let me know, and I'm happy to jump in.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. So like currently, I'd love to lay like the path. Hi, Sam. Um, but like at this point, I'm not 100% sure where we are.
Okay.
So basically, so this project started 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I completely I lost track of time. Too long. So we went on production like in the beginning of this year. And we currently have I'm not sure, we don't have like a lot of people using the application. The client is still trying to roll it out and start adding people. He had some comments from some of the company people that started using this, and some of them were trying to address, some of them were trying to still walk through. So the application, so let me start from there. I know you read something. It's basically a system that allows employment agencies to um, find job seekers
Mhm.
and companies and try to get them together and try to help their job seekers to find jobs. So basically the application, what it does is you as a job seeker register on the application on a specific agency, and then you look for jobs and you apply to jobs, and that's your work, right? Then you have like all the flows and everything that the agency does, but basically like the core of it is they get a job seeker, any job seeker, they try to find a job for him and try to connect the company with a job seeker and try to make it work. For the company side, it's just a simpler part where they just go in, they post a job offering, and review candidates and approve them or reject them. So, like in a general sense, it's a pretty straightforward flow, let's say. But there's like a lot of kinks in here and there um, um, on the application. So if we, so I'm gonna share my screen. Yes, I'm gonna share my screen. So okay.
Can you tell me how many users you have in the system right now?
Currently, I didn't check the lately, but I think we have maybe around like 5, something like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
5 maybe. So the
5.
pets,
Okay.
this is the website currently. It's
Okay.
Pets Workforce. As I said, this is being rolled out still, and while we don't have companies adding jobs, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have a lot of job seekers. So what the client chat is trying to do is trying to get companies to post jobs and then start having people entering the flow. So basically, we currently like have 6 jobs in here. Some of them, like the majority of them, are I believe from Pat's from Chat himself, that is trying to make this work, and he got 2 companies, I think, to start looking into the application and start looking through it. So basically, this is it. So you can just like currently we do have that. We have our own. Oh my god, staging server that we can just play around with, and yeah, this is how the application looks like. And yeah, do I have the application running locally? Let me see. No, I don't. But let me see if
So
I
is
can
that,
remember.
I just want to confirm the website is petworkforce.com.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Too.
And then the feedback that you spoke about earlier, is that feedback in a document online somewhere where I can see what people are saying about the application?
At this point, like what we are doing, because I've been, let's call it like PMing this
Okay.
this
Okay.
project, if we can say that I've been PMing this project, and I'm also been the developer in this project, and also the person of contact with the client on this subject. So I've been like doing a lot of things, like especially lately. Previously, we had some more developers that were doing some more development, and I left a little bit the development side and concentrated just on the relationship with the client. So the majority of the things come like ingress through me via email, and then I try to create stories and try to put them into our waffle board that I'm showing you right now. So there are a lot of things happening, and there's like, we have a very big backlog of 70 stories. The majority of these stories are not really like curated, so they are pretty, let's call it, bad. Some of them, others I try to write a little bit more of something on them. So like, I'm not sure, do we oh, we do have acceptance criteria in this one. I thought we didn't. So, but like, I try to translate whatever we have as a feedback into stories, and some of them look like this, and others look much worse than this, where they don't have a lot of information on it. So like an example of like from our last meeting with the client, that was like last week, we got some sort of a direction from him, and there were like 3 topics that he wanted us to address. One was the ability to, when you're creating a job, to see more licenses, to add more licenses and skills. The other one was the ability to delete a company, and the other one was something that the number of openings on a specific job. So those are like the 3 things. We try to do like bi-weekly meetings with the client, so we can update him, show him what we did, and then if he's okay with that, we just merge it, and also talk about like what's happening next in the next few weeks. So all this being said, currently like this backlog is a mess, with a bunch of stories around here. Some of them that at this point in time, after 3 years, I'm not 100% sure how many of these like 70 stories that we have here really are implemented or not. I believe none of them are, but I didn't have the time to go through all of them yet.
Well, I think I can definitely help out. I think I would like to. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Sorry, it's a little noise in my
No,
background.
no, no problem.
I definitely would like to go through the website and go through it and put my feedback, and
Mhm.
then also look at the backlog if that's something that you would like me to do. I
Mhm.
can go through it, see how user friendly it is, provide my feedback, and then in addition to that, look at the backlog and see which items are implemented or not. If you want me to take on that, and that will take one task off your list.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like one of the things that me and Sam, did you know Sam? Sam, you
No.
ever talk to him? No.
Oh,
Okay.
hi. How are
Uh,
you?
so Sam is the co-founder of Agile Ventures, and we have currently we are working with Metplus, and Metplus is currently on one of our, let's call it, uh, tiers of support. So we are supporting the website to make sure that everything is running, that everything is fine. If there's any issue, we solve it, and so on. And um, Sam is currently the person that is giving this support, and also is giving me support on meetings and things like that. So that's Sam, and also he's been developing some things for MetPlus. So just as an aside, Sam, air brake is not really working, so we need to check this out. But yeah, so yeah, no, that's a lot. uh, so yes. At this point, like I was talking with Sam, and we were trying to see if we can get more people to help in the development side, on the product management side, and also if we could get someone on the design side. I think it would be awesome. So we're trying to get more people to join us, to help us out doing some code and other tasks. So that's what's been happening in the last, I don't know, like 2-3 months or something like that. Because like after we went live, we were expecting like okay, we're live now. We got some feedback from company people and job seekers and so on. So we'll have more people helping, because they will see their product, or they are building, showing somewhere, and people using it. But that didn't happen. So we are in this middle term where we need to help Chat out. Chat is the client, and at the
Mhm.
same time we need to like do other things. So yeah,
Yeah. I guess what was your rollout plan? How did you plan to onboard people? Where did you market this? Like, what was your plan and what was your forecasted goal to be able to, like, how many users were you anticipating, let's say, quarter one versus quarter two? Or did you do any of that?
we tried to like a lot of that. It's not in our hands. So the majority of that work we asked Chat to do, basically. And in the beginning, he never was able to come up with real numbers. What we tried to do with him was, okay, we'll start with this. We'll start with like we turn on the switch, and um, you start getting people in, because like this also, the idea behind this, it's not really like a website like Monster or Indeed or something like that, where you just go there and register and so on. You can do that because it's live, right? But the idea is like the core of the idea is for an agency, in this case Metplus to be able to use this to help their clients, the job seekers, to find some jobs. So this also infrastructure needs to help the agency itself. So basically, we're waiting for Chat to pick up the job seekers that he has and start moving them into the platform, get some more companies to get some more jobs, so we can have this traction start to building up. And we got some very positive feedback. People really liked it because there's nothing like this for agencies and so on, and it's pretty good. But they pointed out things that were not working, like, for example, when you try to add a job and you need to add some skills to the job, then the skills were preset, for example, there, and if you wanted to add a new one, you'd had to go to a different screen. So there were some usability issues that we never addressed because we never had people working with it. So now we're basically at a point where we are starting having some people working on it and playing around with it. We are having some feedback coming in. But at this point, the other side of the problem is we don't have people to work on the things that the people that are using the website are concerned about. So yeah, it's been like a juggle here, and that's it. So no predictions, anything at this point. You're on mute.
Are you tracking usage? Are you seeing that people are coming to the site but they're leaving? Are you getting hits to the site? Do you have Google Analytics on the site to check traffic and see, are people coming in and abandoning after the first page? Have you done any of those analytics?
We have Google Analytics, yes.
Okay.
On the website. I didn't visit it for some time now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a background thing of I don't know. So yeah, it's a Tawana. I don't know how much you know about the background of Agile Ventures. Is that we're kind of an organization, one, to help people who want to learn about tech stuff, like skill up with the tech stuff, and two is to give like support and assistance to charities and nonprofits that want to do good things. So the kind of business model of this whole Metplus, the pets workforce, is something that sort of Chet brought to us. Like, he had this vision of a thing with his own plans and his own ideas, and we sort of put together a team to work with him. And ironically, slightly against our principle that the whole process of Agile is supposed to be delivering, working software into production as early as possible. There was quite a long development period, and as Joao was saying, it only went live fairly recently. I mean, I think the number of people actually accessing the site is fairly small, and I think the number of people that Chet has actually introduced it to is as yet fairly small. Do you know what I mean? It's not kind of like he's spending money to promote it on Google AdWords or this, that, and other. It's sort of like it's like an early beta release, and yeah, I mean, Joao's had much more to do with Chet and understanding his vision and where he wants it to go in the future. But but both, I think, for Joao and myself, we're more on the technical side than we are on the marketing side, so to speak. And so our primary concern has generally been, like, can we, the volunteers who are getting involved, can we help them work together? Can we get the software? Can we keep the software running and so on? But you can have, I assume Chet would be very happy for you to have access to the analytics and start giving him feedback on that and so on, wouldn't he, Joao? I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to go in, check out the site, like I said, provide some feedback, try to like look at the user. I'm assuming you guys have defined user personas and more or less take that user persona, dissect it, make sure that the needs are being met by the site, and kind of do more on that side. I don't know if that's kind of where you see me helping out here, but let me know. But I think I definitely want to look at it more from a product side, and get in there and look at it and try to gather some numbers around it, understand Are we meeting the needs? I mean, do you have like a key user for each of those personas? Have you went back specifically and spoke to that specific persona? Okay, this is my
Hmm. Hmm.
work seeker. What are your pain points? What do you really like about the site?
Hmm.
What's different about the site? What's going to make it unique?
Sure.
Why? What problem are we solving? What
Hmm.
challenge are we meeting? Because that's what's going to make somebody engage with the site. If it's just the same site that 100 other sites are, then why should I even use the site?
Sure, sure. No, well, that's all after our own heart. And as much as the agile model, it's all about trying to define the stakeholder and then stories and why they're happy and so on. I mean, the key person for you to be delivering that to is to Chet, if you know what I mean. Like from our point, I mean, for me particularly, I mean, I've sort of more come on in an engineering support role. It's still very vague to me, like who are the real my sense is that these agencies are maybe non-profit agencies in Detroit that are somehow involved in helping people find jobs. But I'm like almost completely clueless about that because I've only joined the project, in a sort of a support role recently. I think Joao has a better idea, but that all of that stuff remains in. But potentially, you'll have a meeting, Joao, with Chet next week, and you could introduce Chet and Tawana. And I think he's the person that you could really start, and he may be extremely grateful, I think, for that kind of input and value. And as Agile Ventures, I mean, our job is just to sort of scaffold and facilitate volunteers if it's volunteering on project management, on user design, on programming, on whatever it is. We want to make sure there's the best outcome possible for the charity so that they can do the most with their limited resources.
Yeah, like to answer some of your questions, we didn't that's something that has been on the back of my mind, to try to create personas and try to get to people and talk to people and so on. But unfortunately, I never had the time to stop and say, let me sit down and then try to have people and talk to them. And we need to gather some people that work with Chat to do this with. I try to in some more asynchronous way try to guide Chat to get that information for us. And he did, but of course it would be much more interesting if we could do it with him and help him out and show him how these things can be done.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that I would love to get. We need people to develop, but we need to know what to develop. And at this point, we're just I'm trying to grasp at things. I know there's something that he really wants to. The thing is, for Chat, the next step is availability to multiple agencies. That's what's on his mind. That's what's on his mind, because he wants to try to monetize this to get some money from it to start with, and to also to alleviate his bill on currently what is paying for support. And eventually he talked even to, if I can get some money with this application, I can pay for people like in Agile Ventures to develop features for me. So his mindset is there or ahead. But we still don't have people working on a website to understand how things are going. So we need some work on that area. Definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself kind of working closely with Chad to kind of understand, his vision, to speak with him and find out how I can alleviate some of that workload and put some type of structure around what we're building. Because it's great if we have engineers, but are we building stuff that's meaningful to the key personas? If we're just building this cool feature, oh, great, it's cool, but does anybody care about it, So that's kind of what I would like to do, to be able to come in, analyze the user personas, analyze the backlog. And because I have an engineering background, I can kind of look at the site and kind of see where I can see improvements. And then, so I think I can definitely bring some value and some structure. So I'm happy to help out where I can.
Wonderful.
Cool. That's awesome. So yeah, we can. You have we're currently using Waffle. You need a GitHub account, And oh, I need to send you a link. I can send you a link that you need to press to join. The waffle is something strange.
I've got. Is it this one that I just posted into the chat there?
That's the waffle, yeah. But we need to change to send. I think you need to be like /join in order to be able to access it. It's you can see it, but you cannot join it unless you join it.
Yeah, just send me the links. I'll check it out. And if you have like an email address like outside of Slack or something, where if I have a question, I don't want to post it in Slack, I want to maybe get some information from you. If you can just drop that in Slack to me, a way that I can contact you, then yeah, I'll go through, and if I'm not able to access something, or if I don't see something that I need, I can definitely I'll shoot you an email, and then yeah, let me spend a couple days going through the files and going through the site, and then let you know where I think my next step would be.
Okay. That's fine. I think Sam just posted. It's like the last link that is there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know
cool.
if that's the right link. I did what you said.
Oh, you did?
Which was like added /join to the end. I mean, I would say go to the first link and see what it says.
It's yeah. I think it's exactly that.
What I would say to one, yeah. I mean, we have, you can reach, like, I'm Sam at agileventures.org and Joao at agileventures.org. But we do try and encourage everybody to communicate as much through Slack as possible. There's a Metplus install channel. I mean, obviously, if it's something that you want to send us an email. But we're kind of like a big open learning community, and we try and, like, I rigorously police people being friendly and nice all the way through. And so there are no stupid questions. Any kind of general question, is perfectly fine in Slack. And you can even DM us direct message on Slack if you need to. So, but yeah, let me put my email and Joao's email in there. I trust you can see the little group chat in the Hangout there. There we go.
Yeah, we lost Tawana.
And I think she was muted. She was maybe saying, "Oh, thanks, and I'll get back to you." And there we go.
Okay. So,
no, she's back.
Yeah, she's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hello. So I think we'll post these links on Slack.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Okay, thanks, Sam. So that, because when you rejoin, I don't think you see the chat.
Yeah, it gets lost easily. Yeah.
So yeah. Just talk to us. We will have a meeting with chat at 10. You're in East Coast, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So we'll have a meeting at 10 next week with chat, and in the meanwhile we will talk. But feel free to join us, and you'll meet Chad. He lives in Detroit, so and is pretty open, and he loves help, and he knows that he needs help, and he at least since I started working with him, is pretty accommodating, and is pretty. It's one of, like, the coolest clients I've worked with, because he has this idea of what he wants to do, but if you give him some feedback, he's all open to it, and he loves that. So I don't know, like, do you have any more questions? Anything else?
I don't know what's going on with my phone.
Are you there?
I think you may be having some connection issues there.
It looks like so. So what happened with their break?
Well, that's a good question. Tawana's back again.
Cool.
Hey, Tawana,
Yeah, I think every time I get a call, it's dropping, interrupting it. So I have to figure out how to turn that off. Do not disturb.
No worries. Did you have any other questions for us? Anything else that you needed right now?
No, I think I have everything. I mean, initially, like I said, I'm going to go through the site, and the meet-in is next Tuesday at 10 a.m. I mean, next Thursday. I'm sorry. Is it next Thursday at 10 a.m.? Yes. Okay, great. So I'll put that on my calendar. I'll definitely join, and I should have some feedback by the time for that meet-in. And yeah, and I'll try to get that over to you.
Cool. I'll give you the staging website.
Okay.
And we have like a bunch of logins with different types of users.
Okay.
And you can play around with it. You can create jobs.
That'd be perfect.
So we have that. So I'll send that to you so you can take a look.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for your time, and we will chat. If not during the week, definitely next Tuesday, next Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Right,
Lovely
have
to
a
meet
great
you,
day.
Joanna.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
So yeah, I have to leave like also, but something happened with Airbrake. Like what I did with Airbrake, it might not have been like the wisest thing or the best thing. Was I changed the email address that we had?
Yeah, I mean, I started like, and it wasn't working for a while. I've started getting Airbrake errors now.
Yeah, me too. So like the only thing that I did was I changed the email address, but now when you connect to it, it doesn't give you what? Okay, so now we have errors again. Okay, it's fine. I don't understand what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
So like now when we see Airbrake, now it has a error here.
Mm-hmm.
Like previously, it was not even showing this. It was like, oh, what's your installation? And here's how you make it work. So yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder if that conceivably might be the an error from the staging server. We'll have to. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I can see a new one's just coming from me, which is this one saying could not connect to the server. But that was the error that I was just getting. So in the background, while Tawana was talking, I've been in and I've fixed up the hound issues on that pull request.
Cool.
And I've completed at least part of the staging server deploy. So I've been working in here, and so the last step was I have to link the Postgre database to the app. That's now done. I've got then here. This is currently the staging server, like running on a port. And so what I was just doing was I was just pushing the Let's Encrypt branch there to check that I can actually get the whole Let's Encrypt stuff set up for like getting HTTPS on that on the staging server, just to make sure that it all works there and all the functionality works there before we roll it out into production.
Yeah. Do you eventually we can I don't know if we can, but let's say we can deploy directly to Azure from GitHub. Currently we are able to do that directly to Heroku.
Yeah.
But not to Azure. So I'm not 100% sure like how we can do that, but I think we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're using it's Doku on Azure. I mean, the fact that it's Azure under the hood is kind of irrelevant because we're using the Doku framework. But yeah, so what you're saying is you'd like the kind of setup that we have on Heroku, where when, for example, we just push to the master or staging branches, that code would automatically be deployed onto what have you. Yes, and I think we can put like basically we need that relies on post commit hooks in GitHub. So I have to look actually. I think the thing to check would be doing that in Doku. I guess like auto deploy.
Did you create a staging server for like a staging cruncher?
Not yet. I will ultimately be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still using the one in Heroku, right? We should.
When you say still, I mean, I'm not really aware of any of the Heroku setup per se. I'm just working through like we set up the production on Docker Azure, and I'm going through the process of replicating that purely on a Docker Azure. But I mean, we've got a cruncher running in Doku.
We do, but that's the production one.
Right.
So are you connected to something on the staging server?
Staging, when you say connected to a cruncher, I haven't explicitly set it yet.
Oh,
because
okay. So
connecting
like
it to the cruncher is separate from my first goal, which is to validate that the HTTPS works. But
okay.
I guess
I thought you were, but like if you have it running, you need to. It runs without the cruncher. But when you try to do something that includes a cruncher,
I'm sure it would. Yeah, I would imagine that it would break at this time. Did
you add? Did you copy like the configuration, the environment variables?
I haven't copied them all over. I've been going through like minimally setting what we need.
Cool. That's exactly.
Like I'm basically like trying to write the documentation as like, okay, you encounter this error, you need this. You encounter this error, you need this, so that all of the error states are done there. But yeah, ultimately the goal is to have a complete staging with cruncher and everything, so that we can test completely the staging in isolation. Anything that we would subsequently deploy to production, we can test that fully in staging before and hopefully encounter issues before they ever get into production.
Yeah, like I was just asking. I was more asking because in order to send this link to Tawana, we need to have like everything running.
Yeah.
So
No,
I can send her like the staging server that we currently have.
This is not ready for others to start using it yet.
Okay.
No. For Tawana, I think she's good on Heroku, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want me to wait on your tests there for the Let's Encrypt, or do you want me to review that?
I wouldn't merge it at this time. I mean, it's one of those things where like it's probably safe to merge because like all it's doing, the pull request, is creating an endpoint that Let's Encrypt can talk to, and so it could go out and onto production, and it probably wouldn't cause any problems. But there's certain. I don't think there's any rush to deploy it, I guess.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is that when I merge it to development, it will go to staging, and it'll have staging there. So it will only go to production because at this point I'm just deploying by hand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
it will only go to production when we have like usually I push things to production after we show them to chat.
No, sure. No, I understand that completely. I've already pushed the branch directly to staging.
Okay.
In order to be able to do the tests without you having to merge anything. Clearly, it wouldn't automatically go onto production, but you can end up in the situation that if you merge it into staging, and then let's say that there's a fix that needs to come through, or some other stuff that needs to go through and needs to be deployed, it sort of means that you're ending up forcing yourself to deploy whatever happens to be on staging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's I don't know. It's an interesting question for DevOps pipeline thing. I mean, I can make an argument both ways. You could say, one, merge it now, and we should push it out onto production ASAP, so that any kind of integration issues showed up early, because like it's not. This is kind of a feature it's not going to be perceived by the users at this time, or do we finish testing on the branch, the complete loop, before we stick it in? And I can argue both ways, and so it's ultimately up to you really what you prefer to do.
I don't think we have human capital to allow ourselves to push something to production and wait for it to fail there.
No, and neither of the approaches that I was suggesting are of
no. What I'm saying is like pushing something to production and see what happens. Sometimes it's fine, but if you have people that, okay, this is not working, we need to roll it back. If we have people that can do that in a matter of
I can
hours,
roll these things back like in a matter of seconds. That's no big deal. I mean, I've tended to hazard more on the cautious side, like in terms of like website one, like updating gems. Historically, I've been like, okay, let's not make any changes because we might break something. And now we've got like Dependabot, which is like basically pushing out it's giving us like a library upgrade every day, if not more often. And they're now being Dependabot. Have you not heard of Dependabot?
No, but I heard from Renovate or something like that. I was just listening up a podcast, Changelog, the other day about that.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah. Changelog, Renovate. Is that Renovate anyway? But yeah, Dependabot. I've got Dependabot on most of our projects now, and basically it automatically submits a pull request whenever a new version of a gem comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm actually getting to the point where I would like to have automated continuous delivery, so that basically as soon as we merge the Dependabot library upgrade, that basically it would be a matter of hours before it's in production.
Mm-hmm.
As a kind of and leaning on the side of most of these, if occasionally there's an issue that comes through, it's almost like if our test didn't catch it, the test wouldn't catch it anyway, right? So if it then gets through and becomes an issue on production, that's a pushback to us. Like we roll back production. I mean, it's sort of what Facebook does with their deploying every 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And the code behind feature flags. Yeah. Anyway, there's all sorts of different fancy things. In the short term, like whatever we do, whether you merge the thing or not, or what have you, is I need to test that the Let's Encrypt will work and that the functionality of the site will still work in staging, and we'll sensibly do that in staging before taking it to production. But because I can push the branch directly to the staging server, there's no need to merge it in order to do the complete test.
If you need to log in or something, you need to create something. You need to create you need to run at least partially the seeds file.
Right. But so that's something that, like what are the sensible set of sanity check things to do? But that's where once I've got HTTP, in the first instance, like for my time, I'll spend that on getting the HTTPs working. Yeah. And then what I hopefully will have before too long is like a staging.petsworkforce.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That you can go to and you can hit it with the things that or we can write a script for it or whatever. And then you can say, oh yes, that seems solid or not. Or
I don't think I'll have any problem with the HTTPS. You just need to make sure, unless there's somewhere hard-coded URLs that I don't think we have, or else it would have already got broken with when we changed to Pets Workforce. So
yeah, we'll see. Good show.
Okay.
Yeah, so cool. It's a shame. I didn't hear from. I mean, I paired with Erica like 2 weeks ago. I'd love to. I get the feeling like she's like trying to maybe level up as a developer, and she could come and spend a lot more time on Metplus, and I think get a lot out of it. But and Tong Wei as well, I think really wants to get involved, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm away next week, so hopefully Tawana will come back and you can have a nice meeting with her and chat. I mean, I'm unlikely to get this staging thing completed until after I'm back, so
it's fine. It's fine. It's not something that we are rushing. I just looked at the analytics, and this week we had one person going to the website, and I'm not sure if that's not me. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think we are good for now, and yeah, I've been doing solo videos.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
To see if I can get more people on. At this point, I unlisted them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna list them publicly or not.
Right.
I don't know. Still thinking about it.
Well, and I think the thing to do probably is what will get more. I mean, I don't know how people are noticing or paying attention to at the events or on website one. I think pretty much anybody who's regularly involved in the community uses the Slack to kind of stay up with what's going on. But if you advertised it in the Metplus channel and said, "Hey, I'm planning tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST to do this thing," then the people who might come along, like Tong Wei or Hinesh or Erica, that's sort of the people to be maybe connecting with. I don't know. The other thing that you could be doing is as an AV. I mean, this is something I do. I don't know if you're interested. Is you're also an AV mentor. Is you could offer pairing slots to people to pair with you on Metplus if they follow you on Twitter. That's a thing that I have set up, and I have a pairing calendar for that. And that's a way of getting. I don't know. That's probably more than you want to do, I guess.
I'm just laughing because I don't have Twitter, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're a non-tweeter, are you? Right.
Yeah,
Good to
yes.
know. I also do it on LinkedIn, but either which way, even if you can't live that way, you can set your a pairing calendar. The social media thing is like a sideshow. It's the through the Google Groups special discount thing that we get from Google. We have, we can set up appointment calendars, which normally you can't do with the free version.
Oh, that's cool. Eventually, like the unfortunate thing is that usually my slots are like 45 minutes during lunchtime, and I don't see like the issue that I see is that I don't see a lot of people in the US around, at least that I talk with. So that's the time is not really the best. But eventually it's something that I can let's see how it goes, maybe the next couple of weeks. And eventually I'll start having like my 2 times a week or something, like 3 times a week.
Yeah. I think even just if you let people know in advance on the Metplus channel, and you make it a regular thing. Yeah, cool. I was going to say you put those 2 store additional votes in there. I thought we could just quickly look at those, and so that you've already voted on them. But so I've just opened this one here. Job seeker cannot see jobs from deleted company, and this is like at the moment. When a company is deleted, is it like using Access Paranoid to be like archived, or is it like really being completely deleted?
It's not going to be deleted. We need to store it. Like basically, there's a previous story to that. I created a parent story on if you close that story and open 701, I think. There we go. Delete a company. 702. Sorry.
702. Yeah.
So like that's like the business requirement, in fact.
Right.
And all the stories that I exploded from there are all the stories that are there. So basically, the idea here is, in a sensible future, there will be another actor on the system, another persona that will be the auditor. The auditor will have to have access to like records of things, even for deleted companies. So what happens? What is going to happen on the when you delete a company? It's basically going to inactivate the company.
Deactivate the company, yeah.
And then there's like all those stories of things that are going to happen because of that.
Right.
But definitely, like that's that. So what happens is that you inactivate the company, and then, in fact, so it's not deleted. So what happens there is, like, for example, for a job seeker, when you search for a job, you should not get jobs from inactive companies.
Yep. Oh, I totally get it. We have, so I would, okay. Well, I think I can vote on both of those then. Okay. Cool. Anything else we need to work out today?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Oh, no.
No, the cat has to.
Yeah, I had to come on.
Yeah.
That's that.
Cool. Good stuff. All right. Well, I'm going to go away. I'll see you, I guess, in like 2 weeks. Oh, my camera's on. Yeah. Okay. I guess you don't have any kind of holiday in the US this weekend?
No.
No. Oh well. Have a normal weekend while we celebrate Easter over here.
Have a nice Easter weekend then.
Last one. You got the video, right, of the this meeting, right? You were live, yeah. You recorded. Yeah. So I mean, if you just click on that links thing in the bottom right of your screen, there's the YouTube link, and then you could post that in the Metplus channel.
I added it to the event as well, but definitely
that's
I'll
interesting. You're saying that, okay, and interesting is it right? It didn't ping the channel.
It didn't ping the channel. It pinged the.
Okay, yeah. There's. Let me see. Oh yeah, and then the stream is in there. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, you did it all. You did all the good stuff. Then that's a thing on our side. Like we should connect it up to the channel so that it also mentions it in the channel.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, nice one.
Cool.
Okay.
Have a
Bye
nice
for now.
day.
Take care.